Can we start the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the previous class, we have studied about the concept and the nature of measurement, assessment, and evaluation. And also we have I have talked about the types and approaches to assessment or the evaluation. The first type, that formative and summative assessment. So today I will be continuing with the other two types and approaches to assessment. So the next assessment is this internal and external assessment. Internal examination or assessment can be defined as credits or scores obtained continuously and periodically by the students in a subject. The Education Commission recommends internal assessment should be built into the total education program and should be used for improvement rather than certifying level of achievement. So internal examination, this is done continuously and periodically for the students for different subjects. And the Education Commission recommends that internal examination should be done to improve the student rather than to certify them or to rank them. The three criteria for an internal evaluation are: first is direct involvement in the teaching learning activities of the class. Means internal evaluation should be, in this internal evaluation, the teachers who is going to evaluate the student is the one who is in direct contact with the student, means the one who is taking the class. That teacher only should take the internal evaluation. Setting of the question paper by the class teacher teaching that class. I hope this is clear. And conduct of the examination and evaluation of script by the teacher himself or herself. Example, like now I'm taking class for you. So if I set the question by myself and if I administer that question to you, and later again if I correct those paper and if I give mark, then that is an example of internal evaluation. Means I'm involving here in this teaching learning process, so I should be the one to set the question and to conduct the exam and also to evaluate your performance. Evaluative activities for continuous comprehensive assessment of the students. So these are some of the activities to evaluate the student. The first one is Viva Voce, as you have already known, like Viva Voce. This is an oral examination where the examiner asks a question and the student will reply the answer. And classwork. Classwork is during the classroom only. If any work is provided in the classroom setting, that is the classwork. An assignment, maybe a written assignment, and problem solving activities. Problem solving is very important even in our day-to-day life, because most of the work we need to like think logically to solve the problem. So one example of problem solving activities is those picture puzzle, means to those pieces of paper. When you have to join all those pieces of paper together to form an image, you have to think it logically. That is the problem solving activities. And clinical diary. This is a diary maintained by the student regarding their clinical, those activities in the clinical setting, and this diary will help in the assessment of students' progress and their performance. Cumulative records. Cumulative records, these are maintained in the colleges by the teachers, and this cumulative record should always be up to date, and the record which contain in cumulative records are like your attendance, your health records, if any achievement, etc. Written test and case presentation, means assigning a case to a student, and then the student is supposed to present that case. Purpose of internal assessment: to help students know their strength and weakness so that they can be motivated to work hard, to inform teachers about the strength and weakness of their teachings. Means by doing internal assessment, the teachers also will know about his or her own strength and weakness regarding all the teaching learning methods. So accordingly, the teachers can also improve himself or herself. To provide feedback for the improvement of the course content, teaching methods, and teaching learning process. These 2 points are more or less the same. And to reduce fear of external examination and prepare students for them. Like if a teacher take internal examination every month, then the student will find it easy for when he or she give the university exam. And to supplement external examination, to inculcate regular study habits among students, to assess learning difficulties of the students so that remedial action can be taken by the teachers before the end of the course or the session. Need for internal assessment. To reduce tension associated with final exam, to provide link for feedback in teaching, to provide opportunity to the teacher to evaluate his or her student, and to induce student for continuing learning. Problems in internal assessment. The problem with internal assessment is that like when you give university exam 100 marks, so 25 marks will be from your internal assessment. Means those assignment which you have submitted and the test which you have given, all those will comes under your internal marks. So what happened is like there are students like who don't perform well during all those monthly tests or internal small those tests. So for them, like since 25 marks are from the internal, if they don't perform well during those tests and assignment, then they will get less mark. So this is another problem. And another one is, if like many colleges are affiliated to the same university, and there are colleges and teachers who give good mark to the student, whereas some teachers they are very genuine to their work, like whatever the students score, that only the teachers will give as internal mark, whereas some teachers used to give good internal mark. So when the university result comes out, those colleges where the teachers give good marks will have good score. And advantages of examination. It ensures uniformity of evaluation for all students under a particular university or board of examination. It ensures chances of biasness that may occur if examinations are planned and executed by internal teachers only. A person knows his performance and knowledge through internal examination, and it creates competition which pushes the competitors to do their best. Disadvantages of examination. It takes a lot of time to plan and implement external examination. Means for the purpose of external examination, we require some external teacher. So it depends, sometimes it depends on the external teachers, like whether the external teacher gets time or not to come and take the examination. And we have to know about the teacher's schedule, and all those, if he has to come from other state, then all those accommodation, fooding, lodging, everything, uh, it is time consuming and not cost effective. It requires the appointment of the external examiner. An external examiner cannot evaluate student comprehensively in a 3-hour practical test. Like within 3 hours, teachers can only assess only some in the student, but as a whole, the student performance, the external teacher cannot evaluate. It is time consuming, and for some student, exams make them stress. This is mainly because of the pressure from the parents and teachers. Like parents and teachers always expect the student to get good mark. So this put the student in tension and make them stress. And now I will talk about another type and approaches to assessment or evaluation: norm reference and criterion reference assessment or evaluation. So this is a type of evaluation based on the interpretation of the test results. Norm reference assessment. See, when you can see this picture, what you can make out is, in this type of assessment, a student performance will be compared with the performance of another student. Means another student who is taking the same test. And criterion reference assessment. In criterion reference assessment, a student performance will be measured based on a predetermined criteria, but her performance will not be compared with any other student. Criterion reference evaluation. When the evaluation is concerned with the performance of the individual in terms of what he can do or the behavior he can demonstrate, is termed as criterion reference evaluation. Means evaluating the student performance in terms of what the students can do and what behavior he can demonstrate. This is criterion reference evaluation. And there is a reference to our criterion, but there is no reference to the performance of other individuals in the group. As I have told already, like in this type of evaluation, a student performance will not be compared with another student performance. So the student score will not be affected by the score of other student. And this is in this type of evaluation, the mark is given in percentage. One example is, suppose if you are giving a test for 100-mark test in a subject, and if you get 70, then in criterion reference evaluation, uh, you will get like 70%, that you score 70% in that test, but your percentage will not be compared to other student percentage. And criterion reference evaluation assess a smaller number of students. Norm reference evaluation. Norm reference evaluation is the traditional class-based assignment of numerals to the attribute being measured. Attribute can be anything like height, weight, or your taste. And it is an attempt to interpret the test results in terms of the performance of a certain group. Means the performance of one student will be compared to the performance of another student who is giving the same